This week on Urban Outdoor Adventures, Shaun and his good friend Dan McGill are float fishing for late fall steelhead. Today, Shaun and Dan plan to fish several tributaries in Toronto and the county of Durham. However, many urban creeks and rivers can be found all along the north shore of Lake Ontario. The province of Ontario is undoubtedly a trout hotspot, especially for those of us who don't wish to stray too far from home. From Kingston in the east to Niagara Falls in the west, many urban centers host tributaries that sustain good runs of trout and salmon at various times of the year. A few productive tributaries are the Niagara River, Credit River, Rouge River, Duffins Creek, Oshawa Creek, Bowmanville Creek, Ganaraska River, and Shelter Valley Creek. Although the boys will drive to their starting points, the most effective way to cover water successfully is on foot. By walking up and down stream and stopping at various points to fish, the boys will quickly eliminate dead water. At this time of the year, it is imperative to dress warm. Layer your clothing so that items can be removed if you overheat. Above all, be sure to wear comfortable footwear. This type of fishing requires miles of walking in a day. If waders or boots become uncomfortable during the day, it can really ruin a trip. Carry 2 pairs of gloves, 1 pair for backup in case you get wet hands. Frostbite can be extremely painful. This week's target species are rainbow trout. Other popular sport fish species available in Lake Ontario tributaries are Chinook salmon, coho salmon, brown trout, and brook trout. For more information on subjects featured in today's show, log on to our website.
I mean, you gotta love this, right, Dan? We're half an hour from Toronto, about 10 minutes from Pickering. We've been fishing actually a couple of the tributaries along the north shore of Lake Ontario, and good job, Dan.
There we go, we got a good one here. I think it's a female, I'm not sure. Seems to be fighting real hard for this cold water. It seems to be rolling a lot. That's typical with cold water. They usually don't jump. They'll roll around. But no, it's a little buck. It's a good little fish. Just gonna have to take the hemostats to it. In this case, seems to be wrapped up. It's more important to release them quickly, as fast as possible anyhow, so that they can survive. And as you can see, there she goes. What's going to happen is that that hook's going to rust out in a couple of days and it'll pop right out. It's a lot better than keeping the fish out of the water and trying to like play around with it in the sand, whereas you can get sand in the gills. So that's just a little tip I'd like to give anybody who does steelhead fish. It's important to get these fish back.
I guess I should have fished that side, Dan. There's a fish there, Dan.
Beautiful fish.
It's a lively one.
It's great.
That hit that roe bag there again.
Yeah, it slammed that roe bag. That stuff's fresh. So.
I tried that worm again for a while, but no takers.
Yeah.
Put the roe bag back on and away we go. You see the float going to there?
Yeah, it pounded right under. Like,
yeah.
There was no question that fish wanted that roe bag,
right.
that's for sure.
Dan very kindly tied up some fresh roe bags for us last night.
Yeah, it's been doing pretty good so far. Can't complain.
We're actually fishing one of the many tributaries along the north shore of Lake Ontario here. And
yeah, it's definitely a nice hen. Beautiful
there's literally dozens of these creeks, right? All the way along the north shore of Ontario.
All the way.
Lake Ontario.
From Niagara Falls all the way over.
Yeah, all the way down towards Kingston, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he definitely wanted that.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him in, Dan. You want to...
Sure.
Oh, no, he's not ready yet.
No, that's a fresh fish. Like, it just recently rained, so we got a bit of stained water, but
yeah,
these fish just came in the last couple of days, and they're ready to fight, right, like in the lake, so...
What we're actually doing here is we came out early this morning. We're going to be trying a few creeks along the 401 highway here, right? And as I said, no specific names here because we don't want to give away Dan's spots, but basically the majority of these creeks and tributaries will hold fish. That's a beautiful looking rainbow there.
Beautiful fish.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, still wants to go.
Still wants to go. It's fun fighting them on these center pin reels, eh?
Oh, for sure. Like
just you and the fish, no drag.
That's right.
Just using a hand here to control the reel.
It's definitely like a good thing to get into. I mean, it is expensive to get your first center pin, but once you get it,
yeah,
you're hooked. Like,
but I mean, if you're starting out, you don't need to go out and get this expensive equipment.
No, you don't.
Right?
You can go out, get a spinning reel, a nice long noodle rod.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend. You can get a nice setup for even $100. And
the idea is to get out there, give it a try. Once you hook into a few fish, and you know, if your budget allows it, you can upgrade your gear from there, right?
That's right.
Okay, I'll try and bring them in again here.
Yeah, we definitely have a nice fish here. Beautiful hen. Nice hook set. We got her.
Perfect. Thanks, Dan.
Beauty fish here. The hook's right in the corner. Nice hook set.
There
really
we go.
Good hook set. Should pop right out there.
Oh.
It's important to wet your hands before you handle these fish. Like, they have a protective slime.
Yeah.
So, did you want a picture or you want to?
No, we'll let this one go.
All right.
But
Good
nice fish though, eh?
Yeah, she should swim away, no problem.
They fight well in this cold water, don't they?
Beautiful.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Dan. Oh, that's a good fish there, Dan. Oh, he took you right around that tree there.
Yeah,
eh?
I'm around that log there.
Oh, think you get him out?
I'm hoping I can. It's gonna be real tough.
Oh, a lot of snags in here.
Yeah, we got a lot of snags.
While we're fishing. You got him out, Dan?
Yeah, I got him out, which is quite lucky because usually the odds are not in your favor, but that is a good fish. I had a good feeling. Oh, there we go. She's right out. So
perfect. And we should point out using
that ice. Wow. Jeez.
We got ice on the water here.
That log is not helping our situation out. And she's out again. Wow. That is not good. I'm playing with fire here.
We got 4 pound leads on. Is it a 4 pound lead?
That's a 4 pound lead I'm running.
So, I mean, if they get tied up around there, that's going to be a tough job getting that fish out of there. But you need the light leaders in this clear water like this, right?
She's off.
It's gone.
Jeez.
That was a good fish, then.
That was a good fish.
That's okay. You got to fight it for a while, right? That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll get mine back in here.
Sure.
Beautiful thing with these center pin or float reels like this, when you get a snag like this, there's a big log out here. You just simply put your finger on the spool, stop the line going out, slows it down. You'll see that float start to move out away from the log. And basically what you're doing is performing a controlled drift. And what you can do by utilizing the reel is avoid getting caught up in those snags. I can force that float to drift back out away from the log, but continue my drift without reeling in. The center pins take a little more practice over the spinning reels, but you might want to give them a try.
Beautiful fish.
Dan.
Beautiful fish, Shaun.
Yeah,
that
nice
is a very
fish.
good fish.
Let's see if we can land it, eh?
Yeah, let's hope we can get this one on the bank.
That's the tough part. That was on that pink worm. I switched over from the roe bag. We've been fishing roe and kind of slowed down a little bit there, so I put on one of those little 3-inch pink worms and
seemed to do the trick, eh?
He hit that pretty good too.
Wow, that's a beauty fish, Shaun.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a nice female there. Probably about between 6 and maybe 8 pounds.
I tell you what, Dan, it makes you forget about the cold when you get one on, eh?
Yeah. You got
Just
in this
right in the middle of this drift here. I got a tree coming down, fallen tree there coming down into the bank. I just threw it off the end of that branch there and let it drift down into this deeper pool here. And he just inhaled that thing.
Seems like a lot of our fish are at the head of the pool.
Yeah.
Like today.
Do you
Sometimes
think they're
you'll find
moving
that.
up, or do you think they're dropping back?
Well, it seems like with the melt from as the sun's coming up, it's melting, right? I guess they're hanging out at the front of the pool. Maybe things are coming into the pools like food.
Right.
Things are drifting out, like worms will thaw out, and I guess at the front of the pool it's a good
tell you
spot.
what, it's a good question. We get I had a few emails last year asking about the run, right? Like, this is fall now. It's sort of late November. It's bloody chilly, I know that.
That's right.
But there's also a run in the spring. Now, I was always under the impression there's 2 runs, but you were saying to the contrary of that, right?
Well, basically what's happening here is in the fall, after the salmon come in, the steelhead will come to the mouth of the river, they'll move in, they'll chase the salmon spawn, and basically it's a head start for the spring spawn.
Right.
So these fish are going to have a head start over the fish that run in the spring. Just going to have to step in here.
Nicely hooked right in the corner of the mouth there.
It's a great fish. Actually, it's a buck.
You notice how I let Dan put his hands in the cold water over mine.
This fish seems to be recouping from a lamprey mark right here.
There you go.
There it is.
There we go.
Beauty.
Perfect. All right, I'm just going to drop that there and grab the camera if you don't mind. I'll get you to take a quick picture of me.
Sure, no problem.
CPR. Brought to you by Nikon Digital Cameras.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beauty fish. Ready?
Perfect.
Nice shot.
Nice. Got a bit of a kipe there, eh? On the jaw. All right, let's get him back.
Should have no problem with that cold water.
No, it's pretty lively, this guy.
Yeah. There
he goes.
Nice fish, Shaun.
Beautiful. Frozen hands, but well worth it, mate. Cheers, thanks.
It's time now for the Angler's View, brought to you by Pure Energy Rechargeable Batteries. Shaun's steelhead inhaled a 3-inch plastic worm drifted through a classic-looking pool. Let's dissect some of the factors involved here. The pool was 5 feet in depth at the deepest point, tapering up to 1 foot at each end where the faster running water entered the pool and where it rejoined the main creek flow. The pool had various pieces of structure strewn throughout, including overhanging and partially submerged tree limbs, rock, and sunken logs. Migrating fish will hold in areas like this as they make their way upstream. Trout will take advantage of the security that the deeper water and its structural elements offer, often holding very tight to submerged objects. The strike zone in this scenario was the area between an overhanging tree at the head of the pool and a submerged log located halfway down the drift. The feisty trout were holding tight to the edge of the submerged log in approximately 5 feet of water. Shaun cast his float to the right of the overhanging tree and allowed his float to drift down the pool. By manipulating the precision action of his float reel, he was able to palm the reel at certain points to maneuver the float strategically around snags that were visible. Rainbow trout will rest in areas where faster currents of creeks and rivers slow down. This does not necessarily apply only to deeper, more obvious pools. Small boulders, sunken log jams, undercut banks, and gravel humps are often enough to create mini back eddies that trout will hold in. Look for subtle differences on your favorite creek. Productive baits for fall steelhead are salmon roe, plastic worms, and steelhead jigs. For more information on subjects featured in today's show, log on to our website.
Didn't take long for that one to bite, eh?
It certainly didn't.
Wow.
It's amazing how the action can just turn on, eh?
Yeah, it seems to be a bit smaller than yours.
Oh yeah, just a touch, mate. Just a touch.
I think after you got the big one out of the pool, this one felt free enough to move around and
he was ready to
come out and play. Yeah, it's a nice chrome fish.
You gonna be okay with him, or do you want me to grab him?
Oh, up on the bank.
I can put my rod over here, Dan.
Sure.
What did he take?
Took a row bag there of salmon spawn.
Let me just get down here. I'm just gonna slide this guy right back out, Dan. He's pretty ready to go. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for this week. And I want to thank you, Dan, for coming down. Let's get that fish back in. It's been a lot of fun. A little chilly this morning. Got a few fish on the bank and pink worms, row bags. Give it all a try. My name's Shaun Rickard. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for yet another urban outdoor adventure.